Next step, we have to calculate the starch exchanges. And how we'll calculate the starch exchanges? Total starch or carbohydrate that we get through AMDR is 250 minus total carbohydrate that we calculate here is 69. We'll minus 250. We'll minus 69 from 250, and it will come 250 minus 69, 181, and we'll divide it with 15, so we'll get 12 exchanges of starch or carbohydrate. Why we divide it with 15? Because one exchange of starch gives you 15 gram carbohydrate. That's why we divide it with 15. Here we calculate starch exchanges, and how we calculate it? We minus 250 gram of carbohydrate that we calculated from AMDR with 69. We minus 69 that we calculate from here, from the 250 gram carbohydrates that we calculate from AMDR, and we divide it with 15. That comes at 181, and we divide it 15 because one exchange of carbohydrate or starch gives you 15 gram carbohydrate, and we get 12 exchanges of starch. Here I will write food group starch, and total exchanges that we get of starch 12. Now we have calculated carbohydrate exchanges, and no, we'll not. We have calculated starch exchanges. We put this section aside, and now we'll go for protein and fat exchanges calculation. One exchange of starch gives you 3 gram protein. So to calculate protein in the starch, I will multiply 12 into 3, it comes 36, because one exchange of starch gives you 3 gram protein. 12 into 3, it comes 36. Then one exchange of starch gives you 1 gram fat, and I will multiply 12 into 1, it comes 12. Here what we do, we calculate total starch exchange, that comes 12, and then I will put 12 under the exchanges. Starch, that comes 12. I have to calculate total protein that present in the starch and fat. One exchange of starch gives you 3 gram protein. 12 into 3 comes 36, and one exchange of starch gives you 1 gram fat. 12 into 1, that comes 12. Now I will add these values. 12 and 16, that comes 28, and 36 and 22, that comes 58. Now we have to calculate protein exchanges. Similarly, as we do with the starch, we'll do with protein. Total exchanges of protein, that total grams of protein that we calculate through AMDR are 90 grams, and protein that we get from here is 58. So 90 minus 58, it comes 32, and we'll divide it with 7 because one exchange of meat gives you 7 gram protein. That's why we'll divide it with 7, and we get 4.5 exchange of protein, and we'll get 4.5 exchanges of protein. As we calculate the exchanges of starch, we calculated the exchanges of protein. Here we get 12 exchanges of starch, and from that exchanges we calculate protein present in the starch. 12 into 3, 36, and one exchange of starch gives you 1 gram fat, and we get 12. And then we calculate it: 16, 12, 28, 22 plus 36, 58. And now we calculated the protein exchange. The protein that we get from AMDR is 90 gram, and minus the protein that we get from here is 58 gram. 90 minus 58 comes 32, and we divide it with 7 because one exchange of protein gives you 7 gram of protein. That's why we divided it with 7, so we get 4.5 exchanges of protein. So next step is we have to calculate the exchanges of fat. And now we are done with the section of protein. Now we come at fat. We are done with carbohydrate section. We are done with fats, protein exchanges. Now we have to calculate the exchanges of fat. So protein, total protein we get here 4.5. I will write here protein and write exchanges under the exchanges section, that is 4.5. And one exchange of protein gives you 5 gram fat. I'll multiply 4.5 with 5, and it comes 22.5. So the protein that we get from the total protein exchanges is 22.5, because we get total protein exchanges 4.5, and one exchange of protein gives you 5 exchanges of 5 grams of fat. That's why we multiply 4.5 with 5, and we get total fat here is 22 plus 22.5, 28 plus 22.5, that is 50.5. Now we have to calculate the total fat exchange. As we did calculate starch and protein exchange, we'll calculate fat exchange. Total fat we get from AMDR is 71 minus 50.5. It comes 20.5, and we'll divide it with 5 because one exchange of fat gives you 5 gram fat. That's why we'll divide it with 5, as we divide carbohydrate by 15 because one exchange gives you 15 gram carbohydrate. As we divide with by 7 in the case of protein, because one exchange of meat gives you 7 gram protein. Similarly, we divide fat, total fat that comes here, by 5 because one exchange of fat gives you 5 gram fat. That's why we divide it with 5, and finally we get 4 exchanges of fat. So in this way we will calculate the exchanges, and now we have to put exchanges into the diet plan. In the next section we'll discuss how we can make diet plan by using all these exchanges.